How many times has fear held you back from pursuing your dreams, achieving your goals, or simply living life to the fullest? Fear, a primal human emotion, can often become a crippling barrier, preventing us from realizing our full potential. But what if it doesn't have to be this way? What if fear could become a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block? Imagine fear as a mountain. It might seem daunting, formidable, even insurmountable from a distance. Yet, every mountain can be conquered one step at a time. Similarly, overcoming fear requires a process, a journey of self-discovery and resilience. Firstly, identify your fear. Fear wears many masks, from the fear of failure, rejection, or change to more specific phobias. It lurks in the shadows of your mind, often unrecognized. Shine a light on it. Acknowledge its presence. You cannot conquer what you do not confront. Next, understand the root of your fear. Fear often stems from past experiences or perceived threats. It's a survival instinct hardwired into our brains. However, not all fears are rational or necessary. Distinguishing between protective fears and limiting fears is essential. Once you've identified and understood your fear, challenge it. Question its validity. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Often, the reality is far less daunting than what our minds conjure. Remember, fear is more often a product of our imagination than of reality. Now comes the part of facing your fear. Take small, manageable steps towards it. If public speaking scares you, start by speaking in small groups. If you fear rejection, start by putting yourself out there in non-threatening situations. Gradual exposure will help to desensitize your fear response. Finally, practice self-compassion. Overcoming fear is not an overnight process. It takes time, patience, and a lot of self-love. Celebrate your small victories and forgive yourself for the setbacks. Remember the words of Franklin D. Roosevelt, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." Fear is not your enemy, it's a compass pointing you towards areas of growth. So, to recap, identify your fear, understand its root, challenge its validity, face it in small steps, and practice self-compassion. This is your roadmap to overcoming fear. Fear might be a mountain, but every mountain has a peak. And the view from the top, the sense of accomplishment, the growth you experience along the way, makes every step worth it. So, don't let fear stop you. Instead, let it propel you forward towards growth, success, and fulfillment. Remember, there's a whole world waiting for you on the other side of your fear. So embark on the journey, conquer your mountain, and before you go on this journey, remember to hit the subscribe button for more insights, tips, and motivational content. You're not alone in this journey. Together, we can conquer any mountain. Overcoming fear isn't just about stepping out of your comfort zone. It's about expanding it. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. So go ahead, conquer your fear, scale your mountain, and remember, the only limit is the one you set for yourself. Now that we've talked about fear and the journey to overcome it, it's time to delve into some practical steps you can take to conquer your fears. Firstly, identify your fear. Understanding what you're afraid of and why is the first step towards overcoming it. It's like unveiling the enemy before the battle starts. Secondly, challenge your fear. Ask yourself, is this fear based on reality, or is it a mere perception? Remember, our minds can often magnify threats, making mountains out of molehills. Thirdly, take small steps. Don't rush into facing your fear head-on. Start by facing it in a controlled and safe environment. This gradual exposure will help reduce your fear response over time. Fourthly, practice mindfulness. Stay present and focused. Don't let your fear control you. When you find yourself spiraling into fear, ground yourself by focusing on your breath or your surroundings. Lastly, seek professional help if necessary. If your fear is overwhelming and affecting your daily life, don't hesitate to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors are trained to help you navigate through your fears and anxieties. Remember, overcoming fear is a journey, not a destination. Take one step at a time and celebrate your progress. You're not alone in this journey, and the courage to face your fear is already a victory in itself.